Fellow Nigerians, I wish to convey the National Youth Alliance position to the youth of our dear country ahead of your nationwide planned protest. The National Youth Alliance stands in unwavering solidarity with you on this historic day of 1st August 2024. As we protest against the egregious policies of government, we assert the constitutional rights of citizens to peacefully express their displeasure and demand that their voices be heard loud and clear. For far too long, our nation has suffered under the weight of corruption, mismanagement, and insufficiency. Our economy lies in tatters. Our infrastructure is crumbling, and our people are suffering. We can no longer afford to stand idly by, while those in position of authority fail to act with the urgency and decisiveness required to address these pressing issues. We join you to demand for a government that is accountable to the people, a government that is transparent and responsive to our people and needs. We reiterate our call on the government and security agencies to respect citizens' rights and protect the freedoms of Nigerians, to peacefully express their discontent and demand that no Nigerian be intimidated or bullied for exercising his democratic rights provided for in our Constitution. We demand that no citizen should be silenced or deterred from expressing discontent with the status quo. At the same time, we urge the government and security agencies to protect the public and properties from the antis of sponsored thugs who may seek to hijack the peaceful protest by unleashing harms on peaceful protesters, loot properties, and perpetrate criminality. These individuals aim to misrepresent the intent of Nigerians and derail the main objective of the protest. Fellow Nigerians, standing in solidarity with caution, the National Youth Alliance acknowledges the necessity of addressing Nigeria's severe economic and social challenges. However, it is crucial that every actions taken are rooted in wisdom and careful consideration. A wise person achieves with a fraction of the efforts what a foolish person attempts with 10 times the effort. Nigeria's problems are complex and require equally nuanced solutions. The pitfall of unplanned actions. Nigeria faces challenges, both internal and external, despite having leaders who have led the country into decline since independence. There has been no international intervention similar to the no-fly zone and regime change enforced in Libya. This raises the question, who benefits from Nigeria's dysfunction? The issue are not just internal. External factors also play a significant role. We caution against letting planned protests evolve into unplanned revolutions that could see Africa's largest population become a new version of Libya. This could result in Nigeria disintegrating into factions and marauding ethnic militias fighting for control of resources, ultimately benefiting the same external stakeholders of Nigeria Limited at half price or less. Lessons from history. Libya's example. The National Youth Alliance points Libya as a cautionary tale. What began as protest in Libya evolved in a revolution and eventually resulted in failed states. 13 years later, Libya remains in turmoil, far from what the protesters initially envisioned. This serves as a stark reminder that unplanned actions can lead to unintended and disastrous outcomes. Recent protests in Kenya serve as a patching example. While these protesters have wielded some positive results, they have also resulted in a number of casualties and significant property damages. The National Youth Alliance urges Nigerians to learn from Kenya's experience. Although protests can be effective, they often come at a high cost. Nigerians are renowned worldwide for their intelligence and achievement. We must avoid reducing ourselves to marauding protesters who turned to looters. Instead, we should approach our struggle with intelligence and wisdom to bear the fruits we desire. The word African Spring has been used to describe the waves of change across the continent, but it is somewhat unfitting for Nigeria. Nigeria does not experience the spring of season. It has a rainy season and a dry season. First, our movement for change should reflect our unique context. We can learn from the poorly executed transitions in other Africa and Middle Eastern regions. Nigeria's change must be smoother and more impactful, using the power of the masses intelligently and efficiently to avoid turning a bad situation into a worse one. The National Youth Alliance cautions against following planned protests to devolve into unplanned revolutions, which could lead Nigeria down the path of destruction. Instead, we advocate for actions that are well thought out and coordinated to avoid unnecessary sit-at-home protest. One effective strategy proposed is a continuation of 2-week sit-at-home protest over a period of months, a form of civil disobedience where citizens refrain from going to work or performing any duties. This approach requires coordination, solidarity, and discipline qualities essential for the long-term improvement of Nigeria. Historical precedents demonstrate the power of civil disobedience. Gandhi used this approach to end colonial rule in India. The Martin Luther King Jr. successfully employed it during the American Civil Rights Movement. Civil disobedience is a formidable tactic that cannot easily be mischaracterized by the government as a campaign to destabilize Nigeria or as the actions of terrorist groups. Fellow Nigerians, the National Youth Alliance also points out the inefficiency of the Nigerian Labour Congress, an organization riddled with corruption and porosity. Despite having the power to shut down the country through strikes, the NLC often fails to do so effectively. If the NLC were truly committed to the cause, the government will be powerless without labor. A prolonged withdrawal of labor would lead to the collapse of any government. However, the NLC's history of calling off strikes at the last minute due to the behind-the-scenes financial dealings highlights its lack of integrity and dedications to the people's cause. We stand united and peaceful. We demand that the voices of citizens be heard and their voices respected. As citizens with the rights and privileges, we will not be intimidated or bullied, and we will no longer be silenced. We will not be deterred by the threats and intimidation tactics of those who seek to maintain the status quo. Fellow Nigerians, may I once again reiterate the solidarity of the National Youth Alliance. We are in this together, and together we will make our voices heard. We demand a better future for ourselves, our children, and our nation. We will demand a government that works for the people, not just the privileged few. Fellow Nigerians, our appeal to the government are as follows. 1. Immediate reversal to the former prices of petroleum products, as there is no significant proof that fuel subsidy was actually removed. 2. As a matter of urgency, government must address security challenges ravaging the nation. 3. Government should declare a state of emergency and agricultural sector to ensure efficient food supplies and reduce prices. 4. Government must make a law that INEC result viewing IREC must be used during election. Number 5. INEC must register new political parties with immediate effect and make sure they don't rig election again for the ruling party. Number 6. Government must reduce the cost of governance drastically at all levels. In conclusion, while the National Youth Alliance supports the call for action against the hardships faced by Nigerians, We urge that such actions be strategic and well-planned. And non-coordinated protest can lead to chaos, whereas a disciplined approach, like civil disobedience, can effect real change. Nigerians must be the change they wish to see in their country. The National Youth Alliance calls on all Nigerians to consider the potential long-term consequences of their actions and to unite in a manner that promotes a stable and prosperous future for the nation. Let us avoid becoming another failed state and instead strive to be a beacon of hope and progress for Africa and the world at large. Long live Nigeria. Long live the spirit of democratic expression. Thank you.